Alrighty.
Okay.
응답하라 Yeochin. Go to the into the shit.
Back to the Kyung to the Jew. Jane,
Yes,
you brought us
Ellen.
goodies. I'm so
I
excited.
did. I had to stop by H Mart on my way in because I was doing the dishes today, and I only had one rubber glove at the sink.
Oh my god!
I was like, what happened to the other one?
Oh,
Ben probably threw it. Maybe there was like a hole in it, and he threw it away.
that's currently what's sitting in my sink. Only one because
Only
there
one?
was a hole. And
Do you need another? I bought like 3 pairs.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you one.
I literally have just one because I was like, oh fuck. Why is it always like the one goes and then I keep the spare because I know that the other one
I'm glad I bought extra. Like usually I'll buy like 2 more pairs, and I was all out and I was like, this is gonna bug me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop by before coming into the studio. So then I bought bread.
It bugs you that much? I have been sitting with one glove for like a week now.
I was trying to load the dishwasher one-handed with like one gloved hand. I don't know. You know, I used to like just do the dishes barehanded, and my mom would always Chansori, like, you need to wear gloves. You need to wear. Now that I'm 41, I'm like, I need to wear my gloves, or else it's just so harsh. The soap is so harsh on your hands.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I didn't need to be told that because my hands are naturally dry. I have eczema, so
it's
just a few
not
washes,
good.
and I'm like fucking
irritated.
Like, my hand is ripped.
Yeah.
Wait, you sound a little nasally, like I do too.
Oh my god.
Because. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I've been sick the last week. Actually, I was sick for a week before we recorded last week. And then this is the season, Ellen. I just can't get better because the kids, like, just like parenting is rocking me for some reason. But I went to two of Bennett's baseball games last week.
Oh my god, he plays baseball?
And I got really sick after the first game because we were out in the cold. And then that was Monday, like last Monday.
Rainy? Was it rainy?
Not yet, but then it was like rainy throughout the week. So then I was just like cold, like fever, chills, sore throat, congestion. Then by Friday, I was feeling decent. And then Friday night, he had another game. 1 week ago. 1 week ago. So now this is going on 2 weeks because after that Friday game, I woke up Saturday feeling like I had taken several steps back and I felt bad again. So yeah, I'm feeling better in terms of like no fever, body ache, chills, but it's just the congestion. It's just like left over right here.
No, it's funny you say that because, oh my God, we're like living in a synced timeline or something because I started to feel an onset and I got the chills and
oh my God.
It was funny, I don't usually get chills and stuff, but I remember like one time when you and I were talking about it and you were like, oh, like I just had the momsar, like the body aches and stuff, and I had that like a few days ago, but usually when that starts, that means I'm getting a cold, right? And I could feel the nasal. I just was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I took a NyQuil at like in the morning.
In the morning, you took a NyQuil.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just going to sleep the whole fucking day.
Yeah, and
while the kids are at school. And I think I fought it off.
So, like the
I
two...
zinced up. I NyQuil'd. I slept. But I lost a day.
I know.
For that recovery process. I mean, so now I'm like already on the mend.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's either giving it a full day of recovery or it's going to drag out.
I think that's what it is I haven't been able to give it a full day because it's just been... crazy
the rest
week.
That's like my experienced ass knows that if I don't like give it the rest that it deserves, then it's just gonna keep dragging out. So I'm already like on the mend.
That's good. That's good. I'm on the mend too. It's just that my God, like every day we've had something. It's either a baseball game or an orchestra concert or a project due the next day, and
two kids with all the activities, that'll do it.
And then it's just been rough. And then I woke up in the middle of the night 2 times this week because my parents are in Europe and they keep butt dialing me. And I know that, like, my instinct when I wake up delirious at 2 a.m.
Wait, you don't keep your phone off?
I don't keep it off. Like, I keep it on Do Not Disturb. But if it's, like, a video call, like, it will still vibrate.
Really?
And that wakes me up because I think it's my alarm. So I
Jane,
woke
you
up.
gotta keep your phone off.
I know. Well, I know, but then it's also my alarm clock. So,
Oh.
but anyways, it usually doesn't wake. Nothing happens that wakes me up unless it's an alarm. But 2 times this week, including this morning, it was like uh, a phone call before my alarm goes off. And my instinct is to wake up because I'm afraid that it's an emergency and they're trying to reach me.
Oof.
But they're like, then it's like, oh, like crowd noise. Like they have no idea.
So annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying.
And then
could you not go back to sleep?
No, of course not. Of course not.
And then
the worst. So 2 days ago this happened. It was like 2 a.m. My alarm was supposed to go off at 4:30. So I think it's my alarm. You know, mind you, I'm still like congested and getting over, right? And I wake up and it's 2:00 and I'm like, oh, that's not my alarm. Like I turned it off and I went back to sleep and I was like, wait, that was my dad calling. What is my dad? My dad never calls. It's usually my mom. And what if she can't reach me? Like, what if they can't reach anyone? So then I woke up again, looked at my phone, and then I see that he probably called because my brother had texted all of us saying his wife is in labor.
Oh.
Because they were expecting a baby in April, and it's their first baby. So then
where's your brother in California?
They're in LA. Yeah.
Okay. And your parents are in Europe with
They're in Europe, by themselves.
Oh, by themselves.
They're with a group of
cute.
alumni. It's my dad's 50th high school reunion.
Oh, cute.
So they did a big trip. So they had planned that before knowing that, they were going to get.
The due date was going to be close.
Yeah, my sister was going to have a baby, and my brother's wife was going to have a baby. So they had like 2 grandchildren on the way. My sister had her baby like 3 weeks ago, and then this is my brother's first baby. Yeah, and so they're in between like newborn babies. So then, anyways, like I get that alert, and I feel like I was from afar just stressed out because I'm waiting for that news.
Yeah.
And then, I was like talking to my sister. She's tired and delirious with the newborn, and I was like, hey, I'm not a newborn mom. Like I'm not a new mom, but I am still freaking tired.
Yeah.
Like I hate to tell you, but
it never ends.
We're still it never ends. And I was like in between activity drop-offs and like fending off a cold, and it's been a wild week. Bennett has shared a room with Ruby for the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And we told him, we kept pushing it off.
Oh, they're still in the same room.
They're not now. So last night was the first night he slept in his own room downstairs.
Nice.
But the last week and this past week, I've been getting that room ready. And it looks like a tornado ripped through the house because all of their stuff came out of their closet. And I had to take out all the stuff from the spare bedroom.
I don't even want to think about that.
Oh my God. It's
I know that's like what's happening in one of my kids' bedrooms.
I just don't want to go back because I just see the mess and the clutter. And oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But and then I'm dealing with all these feelings of weird grief that it's the end of an era.
Oh yeah.
And he's older now. He's acting older. He's acting so much more annoyed when we tell him he's got to practice his viola piece. And and then I was posting on my Buy Nothing group on Facebook all these kids' toys that, we gotta. And for some reason, it makes you feel better if they're tucked away in a closet.
Yes,
but it's still in
like
the
you're
house.
Letting go.
Yeah. So I took out this huge box of Duplo blocks. And of course, they haven't touched that. And they haven't touched that at all since we moved to this house. Probably since we moved to Seattle, period. Right? But then, like, I was sorting them out because I'm, giving them away to neighbors. And then I remembered, like, the day that Bennett received them when he was like 2 years old.
Aww.
And he couldn't say the G sound. He like replaced it with all the D sounds. So he was reacting. He was like, "Oh my goodness," but he couldn't say goodness. He was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, and I remember that reaction of him like opening the blocks and everything being new. And man, it was hard. It was hard. And I'm like, we need to let this go.
Yeah.
We need to do the KonMari.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for bringing joy into our lives,
Yeah.
and goodbye. Now we part ways. But
have you heard this
hard.
other method?
What?
In pushback to that method, you know, hold an item and see if there's joy.
The Marie Kondo method, yeah.
The other method is hold an item, and if it had poop on it, would you just throw it away, or would you wash off the poop?
It depends what it is.
Exactly. But like I just fucking throw it away. Would you throw those away?
If they had poop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's
that's actually a really, because I would immediately be like, not worth it. Throw it away. And that makes it easier in some ways. I'm like, I don't want to wash shit off of that.
Right. But it depends what it is.
So funny you say that, because I was actually watching through my TikTok videos. I don't know what I was searching for, but when I searched for something, your oldest video came up.
No way.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, Jane, I had nostalgia looking at you.
Yeah.
And you had the short hair.
Yes.
And it was a video where you were eating rice with kaktugi, and the Ruby's not seen.
Yeah.
But she's like hidden. She's like, Mom, I like it.
Yeah.
And I watched that I was like, oh my God, look at baby Jane with baby Ruby. You look so I don't know, you're just so much. I was like, this is time traveling. Yeah.
Younger. I mean,
sorry, I have to
lots of aging has happened since
you know, we were
early TikTok days.
The early TikTok days, we were so plump.
We were full of collagen.
Collagen. Like pong pong.
Yeah, pong pong. It was like fat and collagen.
Yeah,
it was
like, oh my God, Jane.
All the pandemic eating. I was eating like dalgona coffee.
Oh, that's right.
I was making street toast.
No, both of us were like plump plump and then now we've kind of sunken in our face.
Yes.
Which I think I like, but it made it looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't look Ozempic face. We just look.
We don't look gaunt. We don't look gaunt. Like we're still eating.
We look like we have a jawline now, which we didn't before. We were like
true.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, you're so young.
35 to 41. 35 was young.
Yeah.
But it was a blur. It was a blur because it was the start. I feel I'm not the only one thinking this, I'm sure, right? But don't you feel like you were just robbed of those years?
Of what, 30s?
I feel like I was robbed of my late 30s because of the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
I was not going out. I was not, I just was not living to the fullest, enjoying my 30s to the fullest.
Interesting.
And before I knew it, I was 40. So I do feel a little sad about that. And that goes hand in hand with, I feel like I didn't enjoy that stage of parenthood and my kids to the fullest because it was a very stressful time.
Oh, you know what it is? I love the pandemic because we stayed in Hawaii for 6 months.
That's nice.
That's
right. Yeah.
We were like, why? So
and you and I met after you guys returned.
Yeah. So it was the best time of our lives because what happened was we had booked the trip and it got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they finally let people reschedule, it was like the very early stages of, and nobody was going anywhere.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's go now. And we got these dirt cheap tickets and we went to Hawaii. And then we're like, wait, but why do we have to go back?
Yeah.
Because they were doing they were allowing the kids to do remote learning. We're like, we don't have to go back. Probably the best decision we ever made.
I'm sure it was. And you've talked about this before. I also, decided to stay in California for 6 weeks because the kids were starting remote school. Worst decision of my life. Do not recommend. Would never, ever do it again. It's never happening again. And
why?
actually,
why?
Because it was so bad with family.
Oh,
with my
much.
in-laws particularly. It was terrible.
Who came up with the idea?
Oh, I came up with the idea because I was like, we had not seen family.
Yeah.
We didn't see family for
you did it with the best
intentions. Year. Well, I did it with the best intentions because we hadn't seen them all throughout the pandemic. And so we decided not to fly. We were like, we'll just drive down there and stay for 6 weeks. And the mistake I made was thinking that I could be separated from Ben because he has to work, right? He had just gone back to work to open the dental office again. So,
he's in Seattle then?
He was in Seattle and he was flying. He flew out 3 times in the 6-week period, just on a weekend.
And at this time, how old are the kids?
The kids were 6 and 4. Yeah, so Ruby started like her preschool program remotely, and then Bennett started 1st grade remotely. So we stayed there from like the end of August until October, like 1st week of October. But it was terrible. I mean, I loved, I liked that I was staying at my parents' house and I had the help and, but it's not like I could see my friends. We were still being very careful. We were being careful about vulnerable people around us. It was pre-COVID vaccine. So yeah, after that, we didn't go home for 14 months. Wow. We didn't fly to California for 14 months after we came back to Seattle.
Oh, yeah. You're like, that was plenty.
I was like, absolutely not. And I am not going back for longer than a week at a time. And we've stayed true to that. I mean, this past, this most recent Christmas, we were there for 10 days, and that felt like a lot. And I said, oh, I can tell this is a lot, and it's getting to be too much. It's the threshold. 10 days.
You need to make it like
absolutely
6
too
to
much.
7, huh?
Yeah,
That's so interesting. We had such opposite. Yeah, I loved that. I have fond memories because also when we were in Big Island, there were no tourists. We were like treated like king and queens because they were so happy to have people, and they like just weren't because the weather is so great and everybody's always outside. There was like no fear of COVID, and people were just out in the open, and because there was no tourists, like we were the main, everybody was so excited to just wait hand and foot on us. Like, oh my God, thank God you're here. So it was such I was like, damn, like we really, if there was one thing we did right in life, it was during that period.
Yeah. One thing that I was glad to get rid of was all the sweatsuits and t-shirts because that's what I lived in. And why did I buy so many? I just thought like this was going to be life from now on.
Like, this
and
is
I
the
needed
new era.
like cute sweatsuits because I was lounging.
I should have just had you give them to me.
I mean, if you want some, I still have some, and I'm like, why do I have so many hoodies and sweats?
Oh my God, I live in hoodies still.
And t-shirts, and that was it. And I remember thinking at that time, like, oh, I hope like I never have to wear anything else. Like I got rid of. I'm a purger by nature, and I don't hold on to anything. And I remember getting rid of all of my dresses, like so many things at that time.
Wait. Like the outfits you wore before COVID?
Before COVID,
You got rid of dresses and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And all of it, a lot of it, no, I don't, because they would be like out of style and stuff. And also like my body changed too.
Right.
And I was like, post-COVID, I don't want to wear anything tight. And that's still true. Like, I don't want to wear anything tight.
I think you generally never liked tight clothes.
Yeah. There was a period, like probably like my professional period, where I was wearing like very fitted stuff.
Yeah.
But I got rid of all of it. And then now I still have like lots of sweats and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, this needs to go. But the thing that I do have a hard time letting go of is kid related stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Totally.
yeah, again, it's like it was while they were sharing a room and then like everything was tucked in closets, it was easy to kind of ignore. But this week, it all came out. Like it all came out, and I'm seeing it all. And so I'm just seeing like the sheer amount of life that has happened in the last 5-6 years, and also like the need to like clean and move on. And it's the decision fatigue. I'm like, I've said so many times this week, I wish somebody would just come and with like a dumpster and just like take it all away for me, so that
you don't,
because it's really like when I don't see it, I don't think about it, right?
It's just sitting there.
But when it's in front of me, I'm like, what do I do with this? Where do I put it? And I'm thinking, oh, some of this should go to like the little cousins, some of it should go to like the little neighbors. But then it's like every single thing
then it's like,
needs a separate treatment, and you can't get rid of it.
And it takes
like it
forever,
still needs to take up space in your house. So yeah, I think all of that has just I've just been holding all of that in my body, that it is like taking longer to like recover and stuff. Oh, and then like I was talking to my mom about this, but I'm trying to find a balance of like putting some pressure on the kids, because I think we've just been so lax with them. And case in point, their most recent piano recital was like, it was fine. It was, it was nothing great. And
that's mom's code for I was underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed, yeah. And Ruby was like, "Did you invite my friend?" I'm like, "No, I didn't even mention it to them." Like in my mind, I was like, "It's nothing noteworthy. I don't want them to come and bring you flowers." And you didn't even like practice that hard.
You didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that.
What did you say?
I just said, "Oh no, I think I forgot." And I didn't tell them. I was like, we can tell them next time, But anyways, like after they made like mistakes and stuff,
right?
Which I knew they would,
and
based on how they.
And you're
not
them
supposed
feel
to
bad about it. But
yeah. But I have, I distinctly remember I was in 5th grade and I was playing a recital, and I didn't practice that hard because it was a hard piece, and I never liked recitals as a kid. And I blanked in the performance.
Oh.
I blanked out, and I looked out into the audience, and my mom had my piano book. And I just, from the stage, I looked out into the dark, and I was like, "Amma." And she brought me the book, and then I painstakingly played through it, and then came off the stage.
And you were in 5th grade?
I was in 5th grade.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that, because of that experience, I have vowed, like, I am not gonna
be a stage mom.
Pressure the kids to practice. Like, they're just gonna do as much as they want.
Right.
And so they're so mentally stable and healthy, because they go up there. They're like, I'm like, "Are you nervous?" They're like, "No." Well, they just like go up there. They're like not nervous at all. They tinker, they make some mistakes, they take a bow, and they come, right? And then they're like, "How did I do? Like, what did you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, you played as well as you practiced for, and you're pretty like mentally healthy." And Ben's like, "Oh yeah, there were lots of mentally healthy kids today, And then he goes, "I think it's time. I think it's time we traumatize them a little." Ruby goes, "What's traumatize?" And I was like,
shit.
"Exactly."
Wait, who said that?
Exactly. Ruby said.
No.
Oh, Ben said, "I think it's time to traumatize them a little bit." And
no, this is something we talk about. At what point? You know what I mean?
The point is here. It's here because
it starts now.
It starts now because Bennett has
middle school.
Middle school. So he signed up. You can sign up for this optional thing where adjudicators come and listen to your piece, and they critique you.
Oh.
And so they critique your performance, your playing, and he wanted. I didn't tell him like, "Are you going to do it?" He wanted to do it, and he signed up. And I'm like, "Okay, if you signed up for it, you're going to do it right, and he's had weeks and weeks to practice this, but he still can't get, a certain section right. He keeps stumbling. And Ben has taken it upon himself to really drive it home. Like, you need to practice. He's like, again. He's like, those 16th notes, like you're getting that part right, but coming out of it, you need to do it better.
Okay,
and he's been playing the song on his phone. Like, he's been playing it as Bennett's alarm, like his wake up call. So if that's not mild trauma, I don't know what it is, but it's working. Like, it sounds so much better than it did even a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and then Ben's like, the only reason that he's playing like this is because I've been on him. We've been on him, and he hates it, but I'm like, we have tried the gentle thing. We've tried, and it's not producing.
Right. I didn't tell you. I pulled Gavin out of piano.
I think I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
but
because originally you and I had talked about how we will just make them suffer through piano.
Right.
Because they need things to do.
Yes.
But so then we switched his lesson to be viola. Because he takes viola at school.
Right.
And luckily the piano teacher can play multiple instruments. He said I could help with viola. Actually, he plays violin, but I can help with viola. So but then he kept forgetting his instrument at school, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like
he can leave it at school.
Yeah, on the weekend.
Okay.
And so the teacher was like there, and I'm like, "I signed you for a lesson. You don't have an instrument."
Yeah. So what would he?
So finally, I was like, "No more lessons for you.
Yeah.
You're wasting your teacher's time. You're wasting our money. You're wasting everybody's." So we just said, "Fine. You just learn what you learn at school, and that'll be that." And then, but the reason we had held off doing that was because I didn't want Sawyer to feel like, oh, he doesn't have to play, then I don't have to play, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly what Ruby would do.
Yeah. So, but I took Sawyer aside and I said, listen, you're gifted in music.
Yeah.
More so than Gavin. Because Sawyer will just sit on the piano, play for fun.
Yeah.
So and Adonis has mentioned that he is more naturally like him in piano music.
Interesting.
So I said, if you want to not do lessons also, I will hear you out. But Dad sees himself in you, and you enjoy the piano. This is not a punishment, but if you like it, we will continue. And he was like, yeah, I want to continue. So I was like, okay. Like, I wanted him to know that just because Gavin's quitting, it's clear Gavin is not into music as much as Sawyer is.
Okay.
And luckily, I was so worried. Sawyer would be like, I'm not doing it either. But Sawyer's into it. So Sawyer still continues to play piano and flute. I've repeatedly asked, like, can we quit flute?
But he really wanted to do flute.
Yeah.
Too.
And so I keep repeatedly asking him, like, do you want to quit flute now? And he's like, no, I like it.
Go ahead.
So now he continues to do both. I still think he doesn't practice enough, but he will do it when I do tell him.
Yeah.
So now Gavin just does whatever's offered at school.
Yep.
Because the other thing Gavin likes to do is draw without any of us saying. He does it for his own enjoyment.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, he's got something going on there.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been.
I think
it's that kind of like judgment call.
Oh yeah.
And like nurturing of their actual interest.
Totally.
Versus also not having too much free time. Like, it's just
so hard.
All that, like, it's all that, just the thinking of it, the logistics of it, the planning of it. It's very. Listen, I never want to go back to the newborn stage. There's nothing like that.
No,
right?
there is nothing like that.
Physically, just almost like an out of body experience. You go through the motions, but as your child grows older, yes, things get easier, but things get more complicated.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Especially because there's this. It's like that discussion we had about parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't grow up with all that.
Yeah.
But yet we have this pressure upon ourselves to do so much better than what our parents could do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't get that.
I know. I think
why do we do this to ourselves?
My struggle is that my mom worked full time.
Yeah.
But she still stayed up with us every single project, report, and everything. And she had to have the final look through it. Like, she had to like proofread it, and that kind of, that eased up as I got older in high school. But, when I was in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, my mom was still checking everything.
How did your mom come to get that? Where does she get that from?
Where did she get that from? I have no idea. Like, both of her parents were working all the time when they were here, when they first immigrated. And so I think she had to take that eldest daughter / pseudo maternal role. And she is very type A, more than I ever could aspire to be. But I think it's because of that I'm like, I don't want to be that to that level. But I'm like, oh, this is kind of what it took. And this is,
You don't want to be that, but do you think you, as a mother now, you have such a more appreciation for it?
I have an appreciation for it, but the appreciation is more of an understanding. It's not that, oh, I don't think I could be here without that type of thing. I think she did a lot of things that were just extra. Like, she swears not. She's like, you would not.
Your mom as
you would not have gotten, a good grade in that class if I didn't stay up with you and make you solve all those problems. But she told me yesterday that when my brother was not doing well in calculus, she went to go see the teacher, and she got the teacher to give her a spare teacher's book, textbook, because it has all the answers in the back. And my mom would study. She would study calculus, and she would study it like in the pickup line at school. And as soon as my brother came back from school, she would say, sit down, you're solving 20 problems.
And she would figure out how to do it herself too?
Yes. And she was learning it with them.
Wow. Okay,
so
Jane.
I could never do that. Never,
that
ever,
admirable,
ever.
Though?
Yes, but it's when it's your mom, it's just annoying. If it was someone else, I would be like, wow, that's incredible. Like, but if you're on the receiving end of that,
you hate it.
Mind you, like, she was still working full time, like all throughout, like until I was a senior in high school. So she couldn't do it to that level for me.
Where does she get the energy? Because just thinking about that,
I don't know where she got the energy.
Me.
Yes, exactly, right. So I don't know.
But I find it super admirable.
I know you do.
Never.
Yeah. But, so
I feel like a failure as a parent listening to that.
I got like an email from Bennett's history teacher who said, just to let you know, the students have their research project due on Friday. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that. And he's like, I expect parents, I want to ask you guys to help your child proofread their project at the end and check for any grammatical errors and stuff. So, I mean, I had been telling Bennett every day, like, hey, let me know when you're done, when you're ready for me to, look through it. And I would say, like, do you need me to proofread it? He's like, no. Yesterday, it was like almost 9 p.m. Oof. I said, is it ready to go? He's like, yep. And I said, okay, I let me take a look at that and let's proofread it together. It was rife with grammatical errors, like terrible writing, right? Like this is, and I guess this is how kids learn these days, but like they have not learned the fundamentals of good writing. And, he was like,
what do you mean this is how kids learn? So they just get thrown into it?
They just get thrown into it, and they don't know how to write. They write like they're talking to you. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, our first topic is,
Yeah.
and he wrote about Vietnamese cuisine. I was like, okay.
Why is he writing about Vietnamese cuisine? You know what?
Yeah.
No. Actually, that's fine because Sawyer wrote about the molecular structure of what? I was like, the fuck you talking about, bro?
He wanted to write about that because he's like, my favorite food is pho.
Oh, wait, he likes to cook or he likes to eat.
He likes to eat, and he's like, if we go to Vietnam, I want to go for all the food.
Yeah.
So he wrote about it, right? But then he goes, our first topic is, and then every sentence is like, our first dish is, and I
our
said,
second topic,
who are you talking to? And I said, this is a research project, so it should read like a reference piece of literature. So I was like, just get right to it. Don't say our first dish is. Say, start with pho is a noodle dish, yada, yada, yada.
Gotcha.
And so I did that, it was almost 10 o'clock when we were done. And after we were done, I looked at him and I said, hey, a great way to make sure that there's no errors or that it reads well is just read it out loud to yourself. If there's anything awkward, you can fix it. And I said, okay, you're going to hate me. Let's go back. We're going to put the pronunciation for all the dishes that you mentioned. And I said, that's going to help you. And it's also going to help the teacher or whoever's reading it.
Yeah.
Because he's writing like the full, dishes like me.
What did he say to that?
He was okay with that. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's because he was okay with it because I was sitting down with him and doing it together.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm also learning. So, it was kind of fun, but I was dead tired after. And I was like, this wasn't even math. This was like the strong suit, like the writing.
Yeah.
Like strong. I'm very scared. This is only 6th grade. So, yeah. And then I'm getting pictures of my siblings sending newborn photos, and I'm like, seems like simpler times.
It wasn't. You absolutely know it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you that Sawyer chose a advanced math path.
Yes.
That means so his dad is already preparing
right. He has to do the summer learning.
It's like 6 hours of work at home thing, and he's
6 hours total or
daily. Supposedly.
Yeah, it's
right?
not gonna take 6 hours.
No.
6 hours is a school day.
That's insane.
Yeah,
because it's condensed. So Adonis is going off of you're supposed to. If this is
break it up,
he's math, but I'm like that's not.
No, that's not
really logical.
Yeah,
but now he said that to Sawyer in preparation of his mind.
Yeah,
but also it's like, I gotta do 6 hours of math every day. I'm like, this is what you wanted. This is how you're gonna prepare him.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, it's better that he knows it's gonna suck now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I think that it's.
I don't know.
Now I have to hear him bitch about it before we even started.
What I realized is that we're all experiments.
Yeah.
We all only have one go.
Yeah.
So we don't really know.
Right. And there's no right way.
No.
And I think that should make us feel better.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. And I guess this will be to all the parents out there. There is no right way, no perfect way. There's only you tried your best.
Yes.
In fact, I am so certain my gravestone will say, here she lays, she tried. In all the ways, in everything, she tried.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. But really, essentially, it is that, there's no, even if you get to what you think is the perfect thing, it's never that thing.
No,
and it never ends. It never ends.
It never ends.
Right?
Yeah.
We thought we get through the newborn stage and we're going to be at a better place, but something else will come up.
Yep.
And you will have to learn, adapt. It never ends. So as long as you tried, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So keep your head up, parents.
Yes. Please. Yes.
If you think you suck, you probably do, but that's okay.
And solidarity. Like, I am always trying to get to a place where I'm doing less. I mean, and this goes for parenting too. I'm trying to do less.
Less is more.
Because, but I'm just like, I feel keep getting pulled in, and I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to get sucked in. Like, but this is parenting.
This is parenting.
This is parenting.
You're doing great, Jane.
So are you.